the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine. The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine, all mine. The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine.
Know the road gets hard and you just wanna leave. I ain't never too far. Just have a little faith in me. When all the fears you have are all you can believe, oh, I'll be standing by your side. Just have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. Just have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. Just have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me.
Where'd the roses from?
We're no stranger to the rain. So go rest high on that mountain. 'Cause son, your work on earth is done. Go to gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high. Shall
You can shed a tear that he is gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see he has left. Your heart can be empty because you cannot see him, or you can be full of the love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what he'd want, smile, open your eyes, love, and go on.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name's Bev Russell, otherwise known as Andrew's mom. As a parent, you never imagine that you are the one to say goodbye to a child. To quote Jimmy Dugan, there's no crying in baseball. So today, should you shed any tears, let them be of joy and not sorrow. Today, we're going to remember and celebrate Andrew's life. Later on, towards the end of the program, I'll have an opportunity to let anybody who would like to come up and share some stories about Andrew. You're more than welcome to do that. Cory and I were fortunate to have 3 kids that got along from a very young age. There were few arguments and squabbles to break up, and their closeness remained into adulthood. Andrew has 2 sisters, Kendra and Cassandra.
Andrew was a great brother growing up. He was always supportive, caring, and up for an adventure.
Growing up, he was a very influential brother. One of my favorite stories to tell from the last 20 years was the one time that we were on with one of the many family road trips that we did. And as we were driving along the highway, Andrew convinced a 3-year-old Cassandra to put a crayson up her nose. We ended up pulling over on the side of the highway, and Mom and Dad were trying to figure out how to get it out. And after a few minutes, Cassandra finally sneezed, and out the crayson came. And then, being a big brother, Andrew convinced her to eat that crayson.
We were always a sports-orientated family. As I progressed in hockey, playing with the boys, Andrew took it upon himself to teach me how to properly punch someone with gloves on, just in case. He was always giving tips on ways that I could be better and did his best to be at as many important games as he could, despite missing the one time at the Max Championship due to having too much fun with Kendra the night before.
All of my favorite memories of the 3 of us were us doing our silly shenanigans and games we would make up, whether it was annoying Dad by coming up with new lyrics to his Sarah Brightman songs while we were driving to the mountains, or a couple years ago when we put together a can-can dance number to welcome Alec home from work on a Thursday. Andrew enthusiastically went along with all of these and definitely contributed.
Often when Andrew would come and visit, we didn't always have to talk. Well, he had lots of stories about his day or fun facts about everything and anything. We knew that we could always just sit there and watch TV together. On the weekends, if Andrew wasn't out playing sports with friends or meeting new people at the bars, he would just sit and watch whatever ball or hockey game was on while eating a big bag of popcorn that Alec brought home from work for him. He would be yelling at the screen, telling the players what they were doing wrong, or cheering so loudly I'm sure that everyone outside could hear him. I hold on to our memories, the ones that are so dear, to try and keep you always close. Now that you are not here, you were called, it was your time. But it's so true. You have left a legacy. There was no one like you. You are very special, and I want to say, I feel lost in many ways. You're not here today, but I will never forget you. I know I have been blessed to have you for my brother, because you were the best.
The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine, all mine. The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine. The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine, all mine. The smile on my face like the sunshine. I won't cry, 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 'cause you're mine.
Yeah, those are my kids. Andrew had a love of sports. He played hockey, tried out handball in high school, ball hockey, and dodgeball. But his favorite and greatest joy and passion was ball, whether it was softball, baseball, or slow pitch. I'll invite Michael to come up and say a few words.
Well, Andrew's love of the game started early, playing t-ball when he was 5 years old. He played softball up until the age of 11, where he learned to be a catcher because he was not afraid of the ball. He learned early that if you're not the pitcher, the only other person constantly involved in the game was the catcher. At 11, he switched to playing baseball for the South Jasper Place Jays. He continued playing minor baseball up until the age of 19 for Spruce Grove and Confederation Little League. Andrew then went on to play one season of college ball on Vancouver Island. He returned, he began coaching for Spruce Grove, SEBA, and a few years at Confederation Park. From the age of 16, he helped coach and train with his family at their winter softball camps and numerous baseball winter camps. He then went on to be a bullpen catcher for the Edmonton Capitals for one season as well. He continued his passion for the sport with his great involvement in slow pitch and modified softball. Andrew played in multiple leagues around the city, including Winterburn, Devon, and Leduc, just to name a few. He was always a joy to be around on the ball diamond and was the first to help someone if they ever needed help fixing their swing, whether they wanted help or not. At tournaments, Andrew was able to make friends with absolutely anyone, and you would often see him hanging out with a new group of people every hour. On the diamond, you could always count on him to come up in the clutch with a dinger or a sweet backhand snag. His knowledge of the sport made it very easy for him to play any position he needed. He made a great impact on many lives throughout the ball community, and he will forever be missed. And this is a little poem. It's called The Baseball Blessing. May you always find your arm slot. May all your swings be pure. Through every bruise and bad hop, I hope that you endure. May your changeup find the strike zone. May your blooper find a hole. Let all your dreams hit down the line. Stay just inside the pole. May the wind blow out when you're at bat. This is my wish for you. And if you're ever in a jam, I hope that you turn too.
Stands in the field with his ball and bat. Says I am the greatest player of them all. Puts his bat on his shoulder and he tosses up his ball. And the ball goes up and the ball comes down. Swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. Now the little boy doesn't say a word, picks up his ball, he is undeterred. Says I am the greatest there has ever been. And he grits his teeth and he tries it again. The ball goes up and the ball comes down, swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. He makes no excuses, he shows no fear. He just closes his eyes and listens to the cheers. Little boy, he adjusts his hat, picks up his ball, stares at his bat. Says I am the greatest, the game is on the line. And he gives his all one last time. And the ball goes up like the moon so bright, swings his bat with all his might. And the world's as still can be, and the baseball falls. And that's strike three.
Now it's supper time, and his mama calls. Little boy starts home with his bat and ball. Says, I am the greatest, that is a fact. But even I didn't know I could pitch like that. Says, I am the greatest, that is understood. But even I didn't know I could pitch that good.
Me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd. On your feet. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we ever get back for it's root for the Blue Jays. Don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
I'm not as tall as Michael. A friend is someone who understands your past, believes in your future, and accepts you who you are. Andrew had many friends, whether from school, sports, or casual meetings. I'll invite Danny and James up to speak a few words.
And our outfits.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Danny, and I've been friends with Andrew since the moment we met back in grade 3. Sorry, I have pregnancy hormones right now. As we come together to honor Andrew, I've reflected on how friends can become family and the legacy he will leave with all of us. I hold the memories of Andrew close to my heart, so I've decided to share a few of these with you guys here today. Let me first take you back about 18 years. We're in grade 5 or 6, and for those of you who knew Andrew back then, he was styling his Harry Potter glasses, and he was probably one of the smallest guys on the field. So typically we'd stay after school and we'd play tackle football, because for some reason they wouldn't let us play at recess. So this day started out like any other. It was a normal game. There's only about 10 of us staying to play, and this time I went in for a tackle on one of the guys, and I ended up chipping my front tooth in half on one of the guys' backs, and instantly Andrew was just fired up that this guy could do such a thing to chip my tooth. So he had some kind words for that guy, but he didn't realize it was totally my fault. So Andrew instantly searched on hand and knees to find the other half of my tooth. Then he walked me home, because that's the kind of guy Andrew was. He would always show up for his friends and protect them no matter what. I knew Andrew always had my back throughout the years, whether it was through stupid breakups in high school, and he would always force me to watch romantic comedy movies. He thought they'd make me feel better, I don't know. Or he'd always come pick me up from the airport or come watch my games. He was someone his friends could always count on day or night. He would always show up. The second memory I'll share with you guys, we'll fast forward about 14 years. So that was about 4 years ago at my wedding. Andrew was a social butterfly. I'd catch him chatting to anyone and everyone, and that's one thing I always found so brave of him to do. He would talk anyone's ear off no matter what. So as we made our way throughout the night, one of my bridesmaids, they stepped on some glass, so we headed to the ladies' room to get it out. And as soon as we walked in, I heard something in there that sounded like Andrew. And I had to take a second to find out that it was indeed Andrew on the floor of the ladies' bathroom. I just turned to him, and first thing he says to me is like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And I just remember looking at him being like, "What am I doing? Like, what are you doing in here?" And only thing he said was like, I guess it makes sense why there aren't any urinals in here. This one is a bit closer. And he instantly got up and helped us get the glass out like it was nothing. Andrew was always late for the party, and he was up for everything. His sense of care and compassion is something I've strived towards for all the years I've known him. Andrew was always wearing his bright yellow shirts, which I would say matched his personality perfectly. He was bright, bubbly, and was the best friend a person could ask for. His love for sports, and especially baseball and hockey, is evident looking at all the jerseys here today. Today we celebrate him, all that he was as a friend, a coach, an athlete, a brother, and a son. His memory will leave an imprint on all of us here today. Andrew, I hope you have found peace up there in a nice slow pitch diamond. Until we meet again, we know you'll be sending us light and love from above.
Mike ruined this for everyone because he's so dang tall. Hi everyone, I'm James Williamson. As you seen in the video previously, I was a friend of Andrew's. It kind of speaks to Andrew about how we met through another friend and memories through other friends as well. I met Andrew for the first time when we actually played on a ball hockey team together in junior high. That it's one of those things that you don't even remember, and then when you meet up with other people, you're like, wow, we did play on that ball hockey team together like 15 years ago. Come around, you saw another picture of a different team that we played for. I met Andrew again through slow pitch and ESSE team that I ran. That was the Rivermons, which was one of those classical fun comes first teams, but as everyone knows, with Andrew's personality, fun always did come first with him. And another place that we kind of came back together was we have a group of friends that go to Pigeon Lake every May long. And in Kendra's video, you saw the infamous Club Havana t-shirt, which was one of Andrew's absolute favorites. And on every Saturday, we would wear like Hawaiian shirts, and that was there every single May long was that Club Havana shirt. And it made its way to many of the slow pitch tournaments as well. Baseball and slow pitch specifically was one of the things that brought me and Andrew together. Some of the people here today specifically are here because of Andrew, because of his personality, and like no matter where or what you went, he was the first person, boom, gone, making friends. We have some of our better slow pitch friends that we met in Evansburg on a Canada Day long tournament that we just showed up and boom, Andrew was already gone, and we're like, okay, we got new friends already. That's just who he was. It didn't matter if it was in a random field in Evansburg or Riley for Rytov. The last year that we played in Rytov, Andrew actually came as like just an extra buddy and ended up playing on the team of the people that were camping next to us, just because Friday night went and made his introductions and they needed a player, and Andrew was there ready to play. The other place that Andrew's personality is shown is he's actually the first friend of mine that I actually met my future wife. He was the first one always when we went to Glenn's or Beer Hunter for a Sideline 12 or our friend Curtis's shows. And he, like I said, he'd be the first one there. He happened to be the first one of my friends that I ever met, my future wife. It didn't matter where we were. He had the bravest personality that I've ever met. Before you sat down, no matter where it was, Andrew was already gone making friends, and I can't think of a braver person that I know in that regard, and it didn't matter where it was, he was out. I also wanted to just talk that I'm really glad that I was able to be part of this jersey. As you guys saw in the video, it was actually from our trip that we went to San Francisco in Easter ago. And I'm glad that I was able to help Andrew. The Mickey Mouse hat, when we planned our trip, he asked I asked him if there's any one thing that you could do when we were in there, and the Walt Disney Museum is actually in San Francisco. And so that was the one thing that Andrew picked to do while we were there. With Andrew's life, when it came to being his friend, all the phone calls and whatnot, I know that Andrew did struggle. And I hope that now, just like Danny said, I hope that all those struggles are now over and that forever he will be able to just go out and play the game that he loved and be at peace.
For new parents, the firstborn is always a learning experience. And with Cory and I, that began even before we left the hospital. Actually, it was on a day similar to today, the cold weather, but I think we had about 8 more inches of snow. When it was time to get Andrew home from the hospital, we didn't have a snowsuit for him. So we had my mom and sister scrambling to bring one for us. As a baby and toddler, he was a content little guy. He was a trooper at 10 months old who got chicken pox and cut teeth at the same time, and you would have never known that there was anything bothering him. They say kids learn by example, and Andrew was no exception. When he was about 4 years old, he and I were outside in the backyard doing whatever. I had my back turned away, and all of a sudden I hear clear as daylight this "aw shit." I turn around, there's Andrew standing there looking at frustration, with a look of frustration and this disgusted look on his face. Whatever it was that he was playing with was not working as expected. The right words in the right context. All I could do was turn away and try not to laugh too hard. And I'm pretty sure he got that from me. As a little kid, he was a bit of a fashion diva too. He used to like to wear his underwear backwards so that he could see the picture. We all deal with crappy days, and Andrew, one day, in a particular morning in grade 2, things were not going well. Lunchtime came around, and he went and took a bite of his sandwich, and that was it. He packed up his stuff, and he left the school. After lunch break, the teacher asked the kids where Andrew was. We told her he went home. At that time, the school receptionist was a neighbor of ours, and so she drove over to our house to see if she could find Andrew. Sure enough, there he was sitting in the backyard on the swing. She asked him why he came home. His response was, "I don't like salad on my sandwich." Apparently, lettuce on a sandwich was too much to deal with that day. And as a teenager, Andrew was no different than most. In high school, he and his friends decided that drinking in the parking lot of West Edmonton Mall on a Friday night was a good idea. The police officer realized as he drove Andrew home, as he sat in the back seat trembling, that he was going to get more punishment at home than anything he could do. So the police officer only gave him a jaywalking ticket for trying to run across 170th Street as the kids all scattered. Andrew knew how to make a mom feel good about her cooking and baking. Everything I made, except for meatloaf and purple potatoes, were addictive like crack. Muffins, banana bread never seemed to last long in the house. About every 4 months, when he decided to tidy up his room, 4 or 5 empty jars of salsa would make their way upstairs to the dishwasher. He's the only person I know who would eat a whole jar at a time, and these are quart jars, not the little ones. And he hit the jackpot when I came home from vacation one time with a 5-pound jar of Nutella. A few years ago, Andrew and I started the tradition of yearly ball trips. We were fortunate to have gone to both spring trainings in Florida and Arizona. On a trip to Florida, we went to quite a few games in Dunedin to see the Blue Jays. While we were there was a college girl working the beer cart that caught Andrew's eye. After a few days and frequent trips to the beer cart, Andrew came back on one of these trips, came back to the seat and was muttering away, "I can't believe it. You'll never guess what the girl's name was," he said. "What?" His response was Beverly. "What are the odds of the girl having the same name as your mom?" That was his last trip to that beer cart. On one of our ball trips to Chicago to see the Jays play the Cubs at Wrigley Field, Andrew showed what a caring person he could be. If you don't know me, I'm one of those kind of people that have to be at the event right when the doors open, the first one in. So on this one day, Andrew and I got there early. We went to the Cubs store to check out what was in there. As we went to leave, I turned and went full force into a big glass window. As I kind of rocked back a little bit, seeing stars, I looked to see Andrew just standing there laughing, trying to ask if I was okay. So we made our way outside in search of ice for the giant egg that was growing on my forehead. We were able to track down a worker who got us into the first aid station inside the park. So after sitting there with ice on my head, we got a swag bag of promotional products and were able to walk right into the park without having to go through security in the ticket line. That was the best part for Andrew. Beyond ball, Andrew enjoyed cars. He spent time trying to rebuild an old Mazda that sat on our driveway for blocks. I don't know how long before we finally had to move it after we got a ticket. He enjoyed all varieties of music, frequently went with groups of friends down to music festivals. I think they went to Coachella once. They went down to Washington State a couple of times and into BC. I actually even got to experience one of these with Andrew on our trip down to Arizona when we went to watch baseball. There happened to be a music festival, and I tagged along with Andrew, which I think put a little cramp in his socializing that weekend. He also enjoyed redoing baseball gloves. He was always excited to break in a new glove for a friend or to restring it. He had this little hammer and mallet thing that you'd hear this pounding going away. Last year, when I decided to register for senior slow pitch, Andrew would take me to the batting cage to practice. Yes, he did work on my swing too. Fortunately, he showed the same patience that he gave to his 10-year-old kids that he used to coach in the winter camps. It was one of the fun times that we had, just the two of us. Sometimes Mike would join us and just all take turns hacking at the ball. And I think my swing has improved. I had actually had some hits this past winter at winter camp. Most of all, I think Andrew will be remembered as a kind and gentle soul. I know he was loved and he will be loved.
outside, burned out from a joyride. She likes to roll here in my ashes anyway. Played from the bedside, still about starlight. There was my heart, the drums that start off night and day. The same kind of music haunts her bedroom. I'm almost me again, she's almost you. And I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. Be still my foolish heart, don't ruin this on me. I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. Be still my foolish heart, don't ruin this on me. Tell me who would I be thinking of? The numbered lovers of Duke Ellington. Do I owe each kiss to lip and cheek as soft as chick can sing? Let's get lost and let the good times roll. Let smoke rings from this paper doll blow sweet and thick till every thought of it don't mean a thing. I got some color back, she thinks so too. I laugh like me again, she laughs like you. I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. Be still my foolish heart, don't ruin this on me. I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. Be still my foolish heart, don't ruin this on me. I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I would. I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know it, I wouldn't know. The very thought of you and there, my blue, a love supreme seems far removed. I get along without you very well some other nights. Lord, the radio news reader chimes, reporting Russian lullabies. She'll turn to me awake and ask, is everything alright? And love, I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. It's still my foolish heart, don't put this on me. I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. It's still my foolish heart, don't put this on me.
It's not
I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. It's still my foolish heart, don't put this on me. I wouldn't know where to start with music playing in the dark. It's still my foolish heart, don't put this on me.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
But it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We make these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, our hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. so you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal, loving can mend your soul, and it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. Keep this love in its photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts were never broken, time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 Oh, you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home.
Okay, now, if anybody would like to come up and say anything, I'll open the mic. Okay. Cory, Kendra, Cassandra, and myself would like to thank everyone for joining us today to remember and celebrate Andrew's life. I know he's out there someplace playing a ball game right now. So we have a video, another video and song here, and that'll conclude our celebration today. Due to the COVID concerns, we will not be holding a reception at this time. But please ensure everybody takes a mask as a little memento, a little piece of Andrew with you, and to stay safe. And I also invite you to come up and take a look at some of Andrew's mementos and memories. song.
Well, put the keg on my coffin and think of me every so often. Have a loser's day parade for all my friends. Drink up life like a river till the pizza man delivers. And smile and know I loved you till the end. Well, here's what to do when my time comes to pass. Well, Charlie told me through the reflection in his glass. Don't waste time praying, 'cause I'm never coming back. Just throw a party in my name and put the keg on my coffin and think of me every so often. Have a loser's day parade for all my friends. Drink up life like a river till the pizza man delivers. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Well, here's what to write on the stone over my grave. His friends were earned and not a penny saved. Don't waste time crying, 'cause you two are on your way to meet me at the pawn shop in the sky. The pawn shop in the sky. Put the keg on my coffin and think of me every so often. Have a loser's day parade for all my friends. Drink up life like a river till the pizza man delivers. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Sing this chorus as loud as you possibly can. It doesn't matter what the words are. It doesn't matter even if it's in tune or if the melody's right or if you're singing It's Raining Men or whatever. It doesn't matter. So just sing it with me and you'll be on the record hopefully. So it starts off, put the keg on my coffin. We'll put the keg on my coffin and think of me every so often. Have a loser's day parade for all my friends. Drink up life like a river till the pizza man delivers. Smile and know I loved you till the end. One more time, put the keg on my coffin and think of me every so often. Have a loser's day parade for all my friends. Drink up life like a river till the pizza man delivers. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Smile and know I loved you till the end. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it.